What's up, friends? Brandon here. Welcome back to the channel for the conclusion of the 5-pack free-for-all. We have run off 32 5-packs from both Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and these cars will run off straight out of the package, 5 at a time. The winner of that individual race was then inserted into the bracket, so the conclusion of this race is going to be a regular 32-car bracket from here on out. All these cars have been treated with graphite to try to get as much speed as we possibly can from them. And this is going to be our lineup for today. The same order that we ran the 5-packs in the qualifying round. All of these cars have had 2 or 3 runs down the track already to break in the graphite, and our race rules are going to be as follows. We're running rocket round, so the fastest time after lane swaps will advance that car to the next round. Unless I see greater than a car length beat, then we'll go ahead and call it a one and done. And to all of you guys who placed picks in the 5-pack pick video, I appreciate you guys participating, and good luck with your rides today. And yes, we do have an empty spot over here. The X Racers 5-pack. In the first qualifying race, the X team took the win, no problem. In the second one, it looked like it was a race between X team and the Salt Shaker, but actually I think the Crescendo won that one. He was in lane number 3. And in the third race, the Salt Shaker was ahead of both of them. I went ahead and called the Salt Shaker the winner, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a preliminary race. We're gonna race these 3 cars against each other to determine the fastest car after wheel work. So they've all been worked with graphite. We're gonna run them off first, and whoever wins that is gonna take that spot, and then we'll go ahead and continue on with round number 1. Again, thank you for participating in the Pick Your Pack, and don't worry, if you missed out on that one, we'll have plenty more in the future in case you wanna join in. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing started, shall we? All right, starting this off with the preliminary round, we're gonna run the X team in lane number 1 and the Crescendo in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Crescendo taking that one easily. 2307 to a 2369. Lanes are swapped now. We've got Crescendo in lane number 1. He's got the advantage. X team, I don't know if he's gonna have a chance. On your marks, get set. More Crescendo, 2303 to a 2372. So Crescendo going on to see the Salt Shaker. All right, now we've got Salt Shaker in lane number 1, Crescendo in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty good race, but it looks like the Salt Shaker. 2296 to a 2308. All right, lanes are swapped. Salt Shaker now in lane number 2. Crescendo needs to beat a 2296 to get into the bracket. On your marks, get set, go. And it's tight, 2302 to a 2303. Salt Shaker taking them both. All right, so we've got Salt Shaker going into the bracket. We've got the Governor representing the 2022 Batman 5-pack, driven by John Mr. Dark Coon, Gene Mark Mantha, and Dollstar Diecast, versus the F-150 Lightning from the Hot Wheels Race Team 5-pack, driven by Tim Bross and Adam Cornelison. On your marks, get set, go. It's the Governor. 2305 to a 2337. The Governor takes the first one. It looks like we're right at a car length, so we'll go ahead and swap them up. Lanes are swapped. The Governor now with the advantage in lane number 2, and the Lightning needs to beat a 2305 to move on. On your marks, get set. And it looks about the same. 2304 to a 2336. The Governor moving on to round number 2. Next up, we've got the Datsun 510 Wagon from the Nightburners 5-pack, driven by Melindy71 and Larry Henry, versus the Matchbox Japan Tours Datsun 510 Rally, driven by NZ Racing. On your marks, get set. Datsun 510 Wagon pulling out in front, 2316 to a 2346. That was right at a car length. Let's go ahead and swap it up just for good measure. The Wagon with the advantage now in lane number 2. The rally needs to beat a 23.16 to move on. On your marks, get set. A little bit tighter race that time. 23.28 to a 23.38. 2 wins for the Wagon. He's moving on to round 2. Next, we got the 2005 Ford Mustang representing the Hot Wheels Legends 5-pack, driven by Bob Jones, Alex 5CR, Alvin's Vehicles, Toby's Diecast Racing, and Peace Call. Versus the Chevy Camaro Special Edition, also from a Hot Wheels Legends 5-pack, driven by Craigster Nelson Sr. and Brian Creasy. On your marks, get set, go! Victory 23.07 to a 23.10. Camaro taking the first one. Later swap Camaro with the advantage in lane number 1. The Mustang needs to beat a 23.07 to move on. On your marks, get set. Get it. No, he did not. 23.18 to a 23.19. He wins the race, but not fast enough to beat the first run time. Next up, we've got the Night Shifter from the Hot Wheels Unleashed 5-pack, driven by Hot Wheels Head-to-Head Racing, Bullet 01536, and Kane 804, versus the Unpicked Off-Track from the Hot Wheels Hot Trucks 5-pack. Your marks, get set. Hype burner putting some spankage. 23.01 to a 23.38. Putting a gap on the off track. That'd be one and done. He's moving on to the next round. Next up is the Salt Shaker from the X-Racers 5-pack, driven by Dennis Taylor, versus the Hot Wheels 50 Concept from the Speedboard 5-pack, driven by K Adam 0017 and DRT 3K. On your marks, get set. Go. You're putting a gap on the HW50, 23.04 to a 23.41. Salt Shaker, one and done, moving on. Next is a 1996 Chevy Impala SS from the Demo Destruction 5-pack, driven by Chris Hervis, versus the Cadillac El Mirage from the Hot Wheels Exotics pack, driven by Redline Salvage Inc. On your marks, get set. 23.13 to a 23.22. The Impala's got some squirt for being such a narrow car. He takes the first one. Then just swap the Impala lane number 2 with the advantage. The El Mirage needs to beat a 23.13 to move on. On your marks, get set. $23.20 to a 23.34. Wow. All right. Impala moving on to round number 2. Next up is a 2011 Dodge Charger RT from the Batman 5-pack, going driverless, versus the Volkswagen New Beetle Cup from the Nightburners pack, driven by Ferris Fines Diecast and Tyler Thurston. On your marks, get set. Charger taking control. 23.12 to a 23.28. He's recording the first win. Later to swap the Charger now at lane number 2. The Beetle needs to beat a 23.12 in order to stay alive. On your marks, get set. Do it. 23.10 to a 23.24. So the Beetle woke up a little bit, beating the Charger's first run by 0.02 of a second. Be moving on. Up on deck is a 2016 Chevy Camaro convertible from the MBX Highway 5-pack, going pickless, versus the Lamborghini Aventador from the Hot Wheels Exotics 5-pack, driven by Kiev Barcelo. On your marks, get set. Door taking care of business. 2342 to a 2367. That was right at a car length. We'll go ahead and swap them up, see if he can repeat. Later swap the Lambo in lane number 1. The Camaro needs to be the 2342 to stay in it. On your marks, get set. 2332 to a 2371. So the Lambo's got longer legs. He'll be moving on to round number 2. Next up, one of the crowd favorites. It's Cadillac V16 from the Valentine Rides 5-pack, driven by Jet Young, Extreme Diecast Racing, Lily the Dog, Your Nightmare Racing, Limitless Diecast Racing, Haramid Fong, K&O Racing, St. Titus, APBA Chatter, Sir Charles Racing, and Smooth Cruise. Versus the 69 Camaro from the Hot Wheels Flames 5-pack, driven by the Hot Wheels Rogue Racer, Omar Mendoza, and Mike's Model Shop. On your marks, get set. Putting some serious gappage on the Camaro. 2308 to a 2366. One and done for the V16. He'll be moving on to the next round. Next up, a couple of unpicked 5-packs. We've got the Solid Muscle from the Hot Wheels City 5-pack versus the MBX Hazard Squad from the MBX Rescue 5-pack. On your marks, get set, go. Dispatching the Hazard Squad, 2305 to 2374. That was some serious spankage. One and done for Solid Muscle, moving on to round number 2. Next up, we got the Pagani Huayra from the Hot Wheels Exotics pack, driven by Daylily Gardner, versus the 2008 Lotus Evora from the MBX Exotics 5-pack, going driverless. On your marks, get set, go. Tight race. 2353 to a 2354. Looks like Matchbox recording a win. Lotus taking it by 1,000ths. Lotus with the advantage in lane number 1. The Bugatti needs to beat a 2353 to stay in it. On your marks, get set, go. Lotus hunt him down. 2333 to a 2351. Wow. All right, Matchbox representing in round number 2. Lotus is moving on. Up on deck, we've got the 2016 Chevy Camaro convertible from the MBX Blue Highways 2 5-pack, driven by King Rote, versus the Monoracer from the X-Racers, driven by Zelda Diecast Racing. On your marks, get set, go. Tight race. 2335 to a 2338. Looks like Monoracer taking that one by about 3,000ths. Laner swap, Monoracer now lane number 1. The Camaro needs to beat a 2335 to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go. Racer, no problem. 2319 to a 2330. Hot Wheels beating Matchbox. Monoracer moving on to round number 2. Next up, another crowd favorite, but probably not because of that Nissan Titan we've got from the Hot Trucks 5-pack. This one's driven by Bobby D's Lakeside Raceway, Big Al's Custom Diecast, DXB Diecast Racing, Hot Wheels Time Trials, Mark D of Cut Rocker, Fred G, Tom Heartbreaker, Hippie Wild Child Racing, Bolo Brown, and Hot Rod Josh's Garage, versus the Gazella GT from the Action 5-pack, going pinkless. On your marks, get set, go. Tight race, but it is the Gazella GT. 2313 to a 2323. Gazella GT taking it by 10,000ths. Gazella GT with the advantage now in lane number 1. Nissan Titan needs to be at 23.13 to stay in it. On your marks, get set. Smoking him. 23.10 to a 23.42. Gazella GT moving on to the next round. The Jaguar XE SV Project 8 from the Motor Show 5-pack. Both of these cars going driverless is going to be up against the Land Rover 90 from the Autobahn Express pack. On your marks, get set, go. Completely destroys the Land Rover. 23.06 to a 24.26. That's an easy one and done victory for the Jag. He'll be moving on. Next up, we got the 67 Custom Mustang from the Fast and Furious 5-pack, driven by Doug Kimball, Michael Larson, Elevation Diecast Racing, Crazy Eights, Robert Hurley, and Brian K. Bender, versus the Chevrolet from the Hot Wheels Design Lab 5-pack, driven by Cash Money Boys and GNR Vintage Diecast Racing. On your marks, get set, go. $22.88 to a 23.25. Holy smokes. Chevrolet taking that one quite easily. Chevrolet setting the gauntlet at 22.88 in his first run. He's now in lane number 1. That poor Mustang needs to put some rockets on the back of that thing if he's going to make it. On your marks, get set. Okay, that's a little bit more than what I'm used to. 23.10 to a 23.27. Chevrolet pulling a hero run on that first round, but he gets 2 anyway. He'll be moving on to round 2. And for the last matchup for round number 1, we've got the Hot Wheels 40 from the Hot Wheels Track Builder Unlimited 5-pack, driven by Numbskull Diecast Racing, Norman Verne Racing, Friendly Wirawan, Northern Roads Racing, Castanets, Encount, Dennis Domingo, and Robert Pettit Sr. versus the Subaru Impreza WRX from the Car Meet 5-pack, driven by Logan Werner, AP, and Mr. Moms Racing. On your marks, get set, go. Hot Wheels 40 coming back with a 23.20 to a 23.33, making the pass in bad air. I'm impressed. Everything's nice and tight up here. I don't see why they're getting such a good hole shot in lane number 2, but whatever. Hot Wheels 40 now in lane number 2 with the advantage. The Impreza needs to beat a 23.20 to move on. On your marks, get set. Pretty good race. Wow. Hot Wheels 40 with a 23.06 to a 23.19. HW40, the last car, moving on to round number 2. Round 1 in the books, winners on the inside, losers on the outside. All right, round 2 action is going to commence with the Governor in lane number 1 and the Datsun 510 Wagon in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Ball shot, the Governor making up for it on the long end. He's going to take the first win, clocking in at 23.04 to a 23.20. Later swap the Governor now in lane number 2 with the advantage. The 510 Wagon needs to beat a 23.04 in order to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go. Close race, but it is the Governor taking that one again. 22.99 to a 23.24. 2 wins for the Governor, moving on to the next round. Up on deck, we've got the Chevy Camaro Special Edition in lane number 1 and the Night Burner in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Nightburner all the way down the track, holding the lead, 23:03 to a 23:09. Nightburner takes the first one. Later swap, 23:03 is the time to beat for the Camaro if he wants to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go. Nightburner passing him on the flat, 23:01 to a 23:14. So your Nightburner moving on to the next round. Next up, we got the Salt Shaker in lane number 1 and the 96 Chevy Impala SS in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Follow with the whole shot, but the Salt Shaker taking it 23:02 to a 23:05, closest race we've had so far. Salt Shaker logging in a win. Later swap, the Impala needs to best of 23:02 in order to move on to the next round. On your marks, get set. And Salt Shaker hold him off, 23:06 to a 23:17. Salt Shaker moving on to round number 3. Only in Hot Wheels world, we got a new Beetle Cup against a Lamborghini. On your marks, get set. It's the Beetle putting a whooping on the Lamborghini, 23:07 to a 23:20. Beetle taking the first one. Later swap, the Aventador needs to be to 23:07 in order to stay in it. Come on, Lambo. On your marks, get set. Tried. (23:21 to a 23:23). He wins the race, but the Beetle advances on fast time. Next up, we got the Cadillac V16 in lane number 1. Does a Solid Muscle in lane number 2 have enough to make an upset? Only one way to find out. On your marks, get set. Too much, 23:05 to a 23:19. Cadillac taking the first one. Laser swap, Solid Muscle needs to be to 23:05. On your marks, get set. Do it. 23:02 to a 23:07. Solid Muscle putting the V16 to bed early. He's moving on. Big upset in that last race. Let's see if Matchbox can upset this one. It's the Elise in lane number 1 and the Mono Racer in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Oh, and he does it. 23:20 to a 23:29. The Lotus taking the first one. Laser swap, let's see if the Mono Racer can crack one off faster than 23:20. On your marks, get set. Yeah, 23:21 to a 23:42. Okay. Lotus first run pass, 1,000ths faster than the Mono Racer. He'll be going to round number 3. Next up, we got the Gazella GT in lane number 1 and the Jaguar XE SV Project 8 in lane number 2. Come on, Jaguar. On your marks, get set. Or does it? 23:01 to a 23:07. Fast time by the Jaguar. He takes the first one. Laser swap, the Jaguar setting the bar 23:01. Let's see if the Gazella GT has an answer. On your marks, get set. 23:01 to a 23:18. Jaguar winning both. He'll be moving on to round number 3. Last race of round number 2, we got the Chevrolet in lane number 1 and the Hot Wheels 40 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. And it is the Chevrolet, 23:08 to a 23:15. Chevrolet turns on the win lights. Laser swap, Hot Wheels 40 needs to beat a 23:08 to stay in it. On your marks, get set. do it. No, 2310 to a 2324. Chevrolet with the fastest first run pass. It's going to move them on to the next round. Round 2 in the books. Winners on the inside, losers on the outside. Leading off round number 3, we've got the Governor in lane number 1 and the Nightburner in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Nice. 2301 to a 2302. Governor takes the first one by 1/1000. Land your slot. Nightburner needs to beat a 2301 to stay in. On your marks, get set. 2300 to a 2301. Nightburner coming back. Beating out Governor by 1/1000. He's moving on to the round number 4. Next up, we got the Salt Shaker in lane number 1 and the new Beetle Cup in lane number 2. Let's see if the V-Dub can throw off enough bad air to slow down that Salt Shaker. On your marks, get set. Salt Shaker's having nothing of it. 2304 to a 2325. Salt Shaker takes the first one pretty easy. Laser swap. The Beetle needs to beat a 2304 to advance to the next round. On your marks, get set. Not gonna happen. 2304 again by the Salt Shaker to a 2314. Beetle improving in time a little bit, and the Salt Shaker running strong. He's moving on. It's the Solid Muscle in lane number 1 and the Matchbox Lotus in lane number 2. It's Matchbox's last hope to stay in this race. On your marks, get set. Oh man, Solid Muscle. 2301 to a 2337. That was definite gappage. One and done by the Solid Muscle. Last race of round number 3, we got the Jaguar in lane number 1 and the Chevrolet in lane number 2. Should be a good one. On your marks, get set. Go 2297 to a 2303. He was a little bit slow out of the blocks, but he turned it on the flat. Laser swap. 2297 is the time to beat for the Chevrolet. See if he's got another hero run left in him. On your marks, get set. He's gonna do it. 2312 to a 2317. Chevrolet beats him on time on that race. The Jaguar, with a scorching first run, is going to move him on to the next round. Round 3 in the books. Winners on the inside, losers on the outside. All right, here we go for the first semifinal round. We're going to have the Nightburner in lane number 1 and the Salt Shaker in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Shaker with the jump. $23.02 to a $23.04. Salt Shaker taking the first one by 0.02. Laser swap. Nightburner needs to beat a 23.02 to go to the finals. On your marks, get set. Salt Shaker wins them both. 23.01 to a 23.12. Salt Shaker moving on to the final race. And for the second semifinal race, we've got Solid Muscle in lane number 1 and the Jaguar XC SV Project 8 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set. Jaguar had the jump. Solid Muscle drives around in 2301 to a 2312. Solid Muscle taking the first one. Ranger swap, the Jaguar needs to beat a 2301 to go to the finals. On your marks, get set. Oh, 2300 to a 2303. The Jaguar beating him by 1 thousandths. He's moving on to the final race. Semifinals are done. Losers on the outside, winners on the inside. That's our final race. But first, we're going to find out who has third place on the podium. Nightburner in lane number 1, Solid Muscle in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. It's like Nightburner taking that one by about half a car length. 2309 to a 2318. Nightburner turns on the win lights. Later swap, Solid Muscle needs to beat a 2309 to get third place spot. On your marks, get set. 2301 to a 2303. Solid Muscle with a good run, putting him in the number 3 spot on the podium. Race final, we got Salt Shaker in lane number 1 and the Jaguar in lane number 2. I'm gonna run these cars twice in each lane. Fastest recorded time will determine the overall winner. On your marks, get set, go. Jaguar with the jump. Salt Shaker drives around him 2999 to a 2307. Salt Shaker takes one. Run number 2, same lanes. Salt Shaker setting the bar at 2299. On your marks, get set, go. A little bit more even race. $2,300 to a 2301. Jaguar takes that one, but he's about a thousandths off the pace. Laner swap, Jaguar in lane number 1, Salt Shaker in lane number 2. Jaguar's got 2 attempts to beat at 2299. On your marks, get set, go. Not gonna happen. $22.99, but the Salt Shaker rips off a $22.97. That's the fastest lap so far between these two cars, taken by the Salt Shaker. Last race between these two, Salt Shaker now setting the gauntlet at $22.97. Let's see if the Jaguar can do it. On your marks, get set, go. Not gonna happen. Another $22.97 to a $23.05. Salt Shaker, less than 30 gram car, taking the overall win out of all these 5-packs. It's an all Hot Wheels podium. We've got the Salt Shaker from the X-Racers 5-pack taking the overall win, and the only person who picked this one was Dennis Taylor. So congratulations, Dennis, on picking the winning car. And in second, we've got the Jaguar XE SV Project 8 from the Motor Show 5-pack, and that 5-pack went pickless. And in third, we've got the Solid Muscle from the Hot Wheels City 5-pack. That one also going unpicked. Comes the time in the video where we put tonight's race winner up against the gatekeeper in the stack, and that's the 62 gram Thunderbird Stalker. On your marks, get set, go. Well, 2265 to 2299. Yeah, I think that answers that question. Thunderbird safe in his spot on the bubble in the stack. So Salt Shaker weighing in at 30.3 grams, pretty lightweight car. We're gonna go over here to the less than 30 gram weight category, and that's actually 30.99. So that car definitely qualifies. We'll put him up against the Proto Z, who is currently the gatekeeper into this ranking. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, I think I saw a little gappage there. 2296 fast time against the 2329. So the Salt Shaker is definitely in that weight category ranking. And since he showed pretty good time, we'll go ahead and jump up a few to the faster than ever. Honda Civic is the next one challenged. On your marks, get set, go. And he's clocking another one. 2301 to a 2314. Looked like a little over half a car length. Good enough for me. He moves up. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah, not even close. 2292 to a 2321. Salt Shaker just smoked the F1 racer. Next car to be challenged is a Kenner Knight 2000. He's in lane number 1, Salt Shaker, and lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Still Salt Shaker taking it. 2298 to a 2320. I'm going to go ahead and call that a one and done. He's moving on. Next up, we got the Matchbox Toy Fair Mazda RX-7 and made in Thailand, gold swirlies. He'll be the next one to get challenged. On your marks, get set, go. Still Salt Shaker. 2294 to a 2322. Good enough for me. He still moves on. Well, I guess we kind of figured this was going to happen. We got a pair of Salt Shakers. The Zamex Salt Shaker sitting number 1 in the weight rankings, and the challenger is tonight's race winner. See if you can do it. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, he does do it. 2291 to a 2298. He pulls off a fast one when he needed to the worst. Langer Swap 2291 is the time to beat for Zamac to hold on to its number 1 spot. On your marks, get set, go. Not going to do it. 2296 to a 2302. And there we go. X-Racer's Salt Shaker taking the number 1 spot in the weight rankings. All right, friends, there you go. The new Salt Shaker taking the number 1 spot in the 30 gram and below weight category. And unfortunately, one other car got in display, and that is it. See if you can see it. Yep, it's the V16. V16 actually weighed in at 41.2 or 41.3 grams. So that shifted him up. This V16 right here, the FTE one, is actually a little bit lighter. I think it weighs in somewhere around 40.5, 40.6 grams. But Valentine's ride is a little bit heavier for whatever reason. And he was able to make it up all the way past the Thunderburner. Wasn't able to beat the graffiti blue F-150. So that is the other car that made it into the display out of all of these cars that we tested. A majority of the cars that ran in this race would have fit in the 40 to 31 gram weight class and Poe's X-Wing Fighter. The Jaguar gave him the biggest challenge but couldn't get past him, so Poe is still safe on the bubble in that weight class. And these two are out. Old Blue, he's on his way out. Well, that's all I've got for this one. I appreciate everybody who participated in the Pick Your Ride. Congratulations to Dennis Taylor for picking the winning car. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, y'all stay healthy, have fun racing.